Next on Worcester News Tonight, new rules in Worcester. The age to buy tobacco products is officially changed. Plus, a vigil calls for the end of gun violence in our communities. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McCone. Today is National Gun Violence Awareness Day. Vigils took place around the country as well as here in Central Mass. And this week, Mayor Joseph Petty declared today as Gun Violence Awareness Day right here in Worcester. People were encouraged to wear orange in memory of a young girl in Chicago who was gunned down. A number of events to commemorate the day took place around the area. A group gathered at the Congregational Church in Shrewsbury. They lit candles, sang, and named people they lost to gun violence. Some members say holding events like this are important to help people heal.
Communities are just dealing with a lot of pain and trauma, so we wanted to open up that space for people to gather and to get to know each other and to just pray for people and really pray for healing and peace in all of our communities.
And wearing a symbolic color like orange creates a sort of vibe. It can invite others, and it can usually, sometimes, actually get us somewhere. In this case, I hope this gets us somewhere.
And the Burns Bridge in Worcester and Shrewsbury lit up in orange tonight in remembrance as well. A Whitensville resident is held on $50,000 cash bail after being charged by Northbridge police with indecent assault and battery on a child under 14 years old. 23-year-old Alexander Broom was arrested at his home Wednesday night. Northbridge police say Broom did not have a criminal record, but he was the subject of an investigation. He was also arrested for possession of child pornography.
Residents last night, we were attempting to speak with him, and as we attempted to speak with him, he was brought into custody.
Broom was arraigned this morning. Well, a big day for the Hanover Theatre as they cut the ribbon on a big-time project. The theater unveiling their new building at 551 Main Street, which is adjacent to the theater. Now, the new space will hold educational programs, functions, and even has space for a restaurant on the first floor. It's all part of the theater's $10 million theater district campaign in hopes of enhancing the whole district. The city manager also announcing new plans today for the outside of the theater.
It's this part of Southbridge Street that cuts in front of the theater to ultimately close that and create a pedestrian kind of plaza that a restaurant that ultimately comes to this building could have its outside seating, and we can program activities that people can enjoy before or after the theater or at lunchtime, and really kind of get people outside and active in front of the theater and create a destination.
You know, it's an affirmation that what we're doing does make a big difference here in the city. We bring 180, 190,000 people a year down here, and to create this brilliant plaza right here sort of creates it gives us leverage to extend that vitality out into the rest of this community. We're all trying to build this theater district where there's a bunch of reasons to be here every day of the year. It just gives us a great tool to do that.
With 4 years left in their $10 million campaign, the theater has already raised more than $4 million. A local law firm celebrates a big anniversary. Mirick O'Connell celebrating their 100th anniversary Thursday. The law firm is based right here in Worcester. Today's celebration was held at the Mercantile Center courtyard. Leaders at the law firm say their relationship with their clients has allowed them to be successful.
Not losing focus on our roots and who we are as people, not getting ahead of ourselves, recognizing that we're only as strong as our clients and the community we work in. So we spent a lot of time focusing on giving back to our community, serving on local boards, and recognizing that our clients are people just like us.
More than 100 communities in the Commonwealth have raised the minimum age to buy tobacco from 18 to 21, and the city of Worcester is now joining the list. The Worcester Board of Health voted Wednesday night, and all were in favor to raise the age for tobacco sales. Our Brittany Schaefer spoke to the city public health commissioner as well as a hookah lounge owner and has more.
It's sort of in some ways a no-brainer that that's something that should have been done.
The Worcester Board of Health unanimously votes to raise the age to buy tobacco from 18 to 21. Dr. Mathilde Castile says the brain continues to grow until age 25.
Nicotine, opiates, all of that affect the growing brain. So actually limiting kids so that they're not exposed during the younger age does a lot for their health.
The new regulation will begin September 1st of this year. Dr. Castile says it'll be a great thing for the Worcester community.
We've done it with alcohol, we've done it with gambling, which are also things that are part of addiction. Then this is great for us, and it's huge for the community.
People in Worcester have differing opinions on the new regulation.
It's going to affect our business big time, and we just got established. We're not happy at all with the 21 age.
Cigarettes are a gateway to other drugs, and I believe that their teenagers should not have access to alcohol or other substances like tobacco, so I support it.
The general manager of Manara Hookah Cafe says this will affect 90% of their sales.
It's going to affect it drastically because most of our crowd is 18 to around the 20 mark.
Dr. Castile says this has been in the works for a while and will make Worcester a national leader.
To make Worcester the healthiest city by 2020, so this is part of what we need to do.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
According to the Telegram, a convicted sex offender has been arrested in Barre after police learned he has been working with children at a martial arts studio. David Sanderson was convicted of raping students back in 1991. Authorities say Sanderson has been working at the Eternal River School in North Brookfield under a false name, and he did not register as a sex offender. The Attorney General's office fines a Worcester restaurant and its owners more than $11,000 for failing to comply with state wage and hour laws. The AG's office began investigating Shangri-La and its president after receiving 2 complaints alleging employees were not paid wages owed to them and their rates of pay fell well below the state-mandated minimum wage. Investigators discovered the company was not keeping the appropriate records, not furnishing pay stubs, and was paying its employees on a monthly basis. In addition, the owner and his wife were illegally retaining tips that should have been distributed to the service staff. Governor Charlie Baker's administration is reversing a policy of his predecessor, Deval Patrick. Beginning today, state police can now detain undocumented immigrants when federal immigration officials ask them to. Officials say the change is intended to reopen channels with immigration and customs enforcement as the agencies move to focus on capturing convicts living in the U.S. illegally. They made the ultimate sacrifice, and this weekend, Worcester will reveal a refurbished memorial paying tribute to those who served in World War II. City officials have been hard at work putting the memorial together, and today, our Andy Madison got a look at the finished product.
Peter Liaska has a lot of memories from his time in the Navy.
We were in the invasion of Okinawa, the liberation of the Philippines, other islands we traveled through.
He served during World War II and is one of the several dozen veterans from the Worcester area who is still around. It's been his mission to help put together a refurbished World War II memorial in the city. Surrounded by bunting on the Worcester Common, the memorial is finally here and ready to be revealed this weekend.
This is the last time you'll see a group of World War II veterans together, and that is history in itself.
The memorial has the names of 678 men and women from Worcester who served in World War II and never made it home, next to a fountain representing each branch of the military.
There's 68 water jets to symbolize one for every 10 people who didn't make it back from the war. There are the 2 granite pillars that have the names of everyone. The city manager was very adamant about fulfilling that promise to our veterans.
A memorial already turning heads in the city.
Very impressive. I recognize some names from monuments I've seen around Worcester, such as Jack Hirschberg. These men should be recognized.
And one that is very special for veterans like Liaska.
This will be the final phase of honoring the World War II veteran.
Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
The Auburn Police Department is holding a comedy night in honor of late Officer Ronald Tarentino, Jr. It'll be on Sunday, June 26th at Mechanics Hall in Worcester. Tickets range from $50 to $150, and all proceeds go to Officer Tarentino's family. And a Leominster police officer took a break from the daily grind of the job to entertain some young kids. Officer Anderson, seen here, spent time at the end of his shift talking to these 3 boys and showing them around his